Hey folks, welcome back to T2SMC Trader. How are you all? I hope everyone is cool. So in this video, we are going to complete the top-down analysis, which we should do in between Saturday or Sunday. I'm just going to make this video, but make sure that you have done your own analysis or the top-down analysis before watching my analysis. Okay. So pause the video here, finish your own analysis, then come back and watch my analysis. Try to compare yourself with myself. That is the best way to learn this price action. This is really so important to start the top-down analysis from the calendar. So for that, I am using the forexfactory.com, the /calendar. This is the calendar I'm going to use for the news of coming week. Now you can see that around Monday we have the bank holiday. That means we have 3 holidays altogether: Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I prefer not to trade on Tuesday morning session because after holiday most of the time the morning session is kind of manual intervention time. So try to avoid the morning session. Instead of that, wait for the PM session. At the same time, you can see we have the Fed Chair Powell speak around 12:20 p.m. So which is the New York local time. So I don't think so it's a good idea to start trading from 12:50. Instead of that, you should start your trading from 2 p.m. New York local time on Wednesday, Tuesday, okay? Until 2 p.m. Tuesday, don't trade. It's a safe game, okay? Then Wednesday we have some kind of medium impact news. Thursday we have tentative news. You can see the PPI is actually tentative, and unemployment claims is also tentative. Around 9 we have some FOMC speak, nothing red folder news, no red folder news, and Friday also we don't have any kind of news. In my opinion, this week is not going to be a great week. Instead of that, it's going to be a range bound week, so you have to do some scalping, like small run, that's all. Not sign something like a very prominent move toward a buy side or sell side liquid. I'm not thinking like that way. So please be careful this week and come back the next week with more energy. Hold your capital this week and make the capital by the next week. I'd love to come to the chart now for Nasdaq, where I'm using actually NQZ 2025, which is the December contract. Now all of you have watched the video. I'm going to put that video link at the end of the video. So if you didn't watch that video where I have explained all of this price action in a very uh, like detailed way, okay, so there is very detailed information over there. Please watch that video. It will help you to understand the price action a lot, I believe so. Please don't forget to push the like button, by the way, and please comment me if you have any confusion. Subscribe to our channel if you have any, if you're new over here. So here, this is that minus 2.5 standard deviation where market actually tapped and then started to react. The sell side liquidity here, which is the clean lows. Below the sell side liquidity, I have this bullish variable gap from the weekly chart. So overall, I'm now started to think that this market will come to this bullish variable gap. Until it doesn't come to this bullish variable gap, I'll keep looking for sell. If this market starts to react from this bullish variable gap from the weekly chart, which you can see clearly over here, beautiful bullish variable gap, and market actually respecting the constant crossment or the 50% of that bullish variable gap, and then started to go higher, break that line, maybe we'll start to mark another standard deviation level for the all-time high, which is a low probability to me. I'm not thinking like that way, but of course nothing is certain on trading. So it can of course start to go higher and make a new all-time high. It is possible. I'm expecting this is going to be crash. Okay, this market is going to fall a lot. Right now, all I'm watching this gap. If it hold the market, maybe it can start to go higher until the body doesn't close below this gap. I'm just not extremely bearish. I am expecting some kind of reaction from this gap. So from the calendar, you have seen that we don't have any kind of beautiful news this week. So this week I'm not expecting some kind of beautiful run toward the liquidity. Instead of that, I'm expecting it's gonna be a range bound. So this whole week I'm expecting some kind of indecisive candle. So it will be maybe fall a bit, then it will go higher a bit, then it will close around here, something like that. Okay, so not kind of very prominent sell or very prominent buy, nothing. The reaction from this gap will make a indecisive weekly candle over here. At the same time, it will make some kind of bearish variable gap over here. That is my expectation from the weekly chart by the next or the by the coming week. we'll have to go to the daily chart. So from the daily chart, all you can see that market has cleared the buy side liquidity. All the buy side liquidity has been cleared, and this is the market structure shift from the daily chart. What a nice, beautiful market structure shift. At the same time, you see this sell side liquidity is still over here from the weekly chart as well as from the daily chart. I don't have any buy side liquidity. There is no buy side liquidity, only the sell side liquidity. So people are saying this is support, this is support, and they took the buy over here. Those people who actually covered their profit from that minus 2.5 standard deviation, they'll be lucky. Otherwise, I believe that those people who actually took the buy and didn't cover their profit over here, they're going to be regretted. So here, this is that candle, and as you know that Monday is the holiday, so Monday electronic trading hour will be open and the regular trading hour will be closed, which is the real trading hour. I mean trading chart, the regular trading chart, that is the real trading chart, that will be closed. So from the weekly, I mean sorry, electronic trading chart, I am expecting some kind of consolidation on Monday, okay, because it will close around 1 p.m. New York local time, I believe so. On the holiday, most of the time actually market get closed around 1 p.m. So on that Monday, I would love to see this type of consolidation or the accumulation. Then Tuesday, by using the what is I mean the uh, Future power will speak, this market will do the manipulation. That means it will take Monday low, whatever Monday low market will create over here, it will clear that Monday low, and then it will start to go higher. Maybe it will close here somewhere, I don't know. Okay, then on Tuesday it will do the same thing, it will go a bit higher, it will trade the bearish fair value gap from the daily chart, the gap it is going to make over here by Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday it will trade that gap, and then Thursday and Friday, okay, it will come here and it will close around this area below this fair value gap. So that is my so far expectation, that the coming week this market is not moving anywhere. Instead of that, it will actually consolidate or it will be range bound, and finally this market will close below this gap, and this will be used as a sign that market is actually falling for that sell side liquidity, depending on the forex factory calendar, depending on the price action, as well as after a big run. Always remember, after a big run, most of the time market actually do the consolidation. Most of the time it do the consolidation. So here, this is my whole expectation or the narrative from the daily chart coming week. But don't forget about the opening gap, which is called the new week opening gap. I'm expecting this year, means this week, the new week opening gap will be gap down. Okay, so it will be gap down, and then it will go higher, and use this what to say, I mean the new week opening gap as well as this weekly bullish fair value gap to send the market a bit higher. This is how this market is going to work. It is my opinion. Again, nobody can predict the opening around Sunday 6 p.m. Nobody can predict that. So I'm just expecting this market will open gap down, okay, and then it will go higher. Of course, if it do this type of things, like it gap up over here, so it up over here, it stop, I mean started the market over here, it is also possible. I am not saying it is going to happen. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any kind of gap up. Instead of that, if it happens like this way, maybe we'll be able to use this new week opening gap to frame some setup coming week. Okay, so far that is my expectation. Everything can be dismissed by the new week opening gap. If it is very big, okay, something like here it opened here, something like that, okay, for example, or maybe here it opened very far, then maybe it can be changed, my bias can be changed or my analysis can be changed, and I can start to look for sell side liquidity. It is possible. But so far I'm really not interested to see a huge gap down or huge gap up. Instead of that, it will make a regular gap down, something like that, and then it will use that new week opening gap as well as this bullish fair value gap from the weekly chart to make the price action in a range. So far that is my expectation from the daily chart. What else do I have from the daily chart? Except this liquidity, I really don't have anything else over here. Now, I'm not interested to mark any kind of gap over here, which is you can simply see that the last fair value gap to that specific leg. This was the last fair value gap over here. That has been broken already over here. So I really don't want to see any kind of bullishness from this market anymore. I'm not interested to think it is going to make another all-time high. Instead of that, I'm more interested to see the sell side liquidity will be taken by next and the after the next week. So not by the next week. Next week this market will just confirm or leave a sign that that is going to fall by closing below this weekly bullish fair value gap. That is my expectation so far. I'd love to come to hourly chart, and from the hourly chart you can see that that was the all-time high. So market has actually made the all-time high. It tapped to this minus 2.5 standard deviation, then fall over here, closed around this area. I have a lot of sell side liquidity around that area. Okay, so if I just go for the liquidity, you will be able to see there is a sell side liquidity which is relatively equal lows. Here you can see there, that is the sell side liquidity here. Then I have some sell side liquidity around here, which is around this area. This is the sell side liquidity over here, and I have some liquidity here, and finally this extreme liquidity. So all of this sell side liquidity or the support zone should be broken from the hourly chart, and the last day, which is the Friday. Just look at the fall. After seeing this fall, I'm just not interested to see this market will go up again before falling. Now over here, if you look for the premium and discount, so I'm going to high and the low of that area. Okay, so if I just count that area, you can see this is the equilibrium. So above this equilibrium, this is the premium, this is the discount. If this market really would love to fall, it should not come back again to this premium fair value gap. Try to understand this part a bit with a bit focus. This is the last fair value gap from that specific leg, and this is the entry fair value gap from that specific leg. Again, if this market is extremely bearish, or it really would love to fall for that sell side liquidity, it should not come back again to this premium fair value gap. Instead of that, it has to work with this discount fair value gap, which is here. So I don't want to see anybody will come to this entry or the last fair value gap. Maximum it is possible that it will come here, and wick will tap to this entry gap. So all the price action has to be the upper run, whatever upper run you will see over there, that has to be below the 50% of that entry gap. If there is anybody come to this last fair value gap, to that premium area, that is the that means market is not bearish, it is extremely bullish, because this market is coming from the premium. I've already explained this premium and discount by making a video. Please watch that video to understand this whole concept. But here I'm just going to give an idea to you. The best case of scenario, it will come here to this hourly gap, and then it will start to fall from that hourly gap again. Okay, so something like this, the thing I have explained, something like that. But maximum I will expect this can come to this equilibrium. We can come until the lower portion of this entry gap. So for example, here, that is the last line. I'm going to expect this market can go. After that, it should keep falling. Body should respect the constant encroachment or the equilibrium of that range, and we can did the damage. In the meantime, it can trade that entry gap. This is acceptable, but the best case of scenario, it will work with this gap, and it will never ever come to this entry gap. It will never ever come to this entry gap. That is my expectation so far. If it do that, it is also acceptable. If it come here, no more sell is valid. I'll look for the buy again for the new all-time high. But until it is not coming or going above the constant encroachment, I will keep looking for the selling opportunity. In the meantime, the way I explained that Monday will be the accumulation, Tuesday will be the manipulation, Wednesday will be the expansion toward the gap, and Thursday will come back again to close below this weekly bullish fair value gap. Friday will close below this bullish fair value gap. That is so far my idea to see this market will work. Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult for me to trade the coming week. If I come to the 15-minute chart, same thing over here. I really don't have anything to say so far from this 15-minute chart. All you can see the sell side liquidity from the hourly chart I have marked. They're the same thing from the 15-minute chart as well. Excuse me. So I really don't want to see anything from the 15-minute chart, as it is a bit messy price action over here. But before closing, I would love to go to the 4-hour chart one more time. So here you can see from the 4-hour chart, I have the premium gap and the discount, but not the gap. There is no gap from the 4-hour chart. From the premium, I have a gap. This candle high, that candle low, there is a gap. So in between this gap, this is the entry gap and the last gap. So when I told you that it can maximum come until this entry gap, but body has to be respected the concurrent crossment of that whole range. In the meantime, you can simply see that there's just one gap from the 4-hour chart. So what else can happen? Actually, from 4-hour chart, this market will trade this only gap, just the only gap. Of course, it can't come to the premium, extremely premium. The maximum area to go is the 50% of that premium gap from the 4. You can see this 50% and that entry gap 50% are aligned with the same area, same logic. So why I went for this area? Because I wanted to see the maximum line should be this 4-hour gap 50%. That should be the maximum expansion toward the upper side, and then it should fall again for the sell side liquidity. So I hope that it's clear to you guys why I'm also thinking that this entry gap concurrent crossment can be traded. Okay. So this is the so far the expectation from the what is I mean the Nasdaq. I would love to go to the ES actually for a bit time, because it is also important for you to show something from this ES chart. So in ES chart, it has also built the all-time high, and then this market fall closed below this weekly bullish parallel gap. So on Nasdaq, you have seen that uh, market is actually respecting this bullish parallel gap, constant crossment on Nasdaq. Okay, but here in ES, you are seeing that market has broken that last parallel gap. Sorry, that bullish parallel gap from the weekly chart. Same bullish parallel gap from the Nasdaq. So let me show you one more time here. This is that bullish parallel gap that is market respecting, but in NES market has closed below this bullish parallel gap. What does it mean? Why it is important? Some of you actually love to trade the SMT. So you see from the weekly chart, the next week, the coming week, when the market will fall, ES is the strongest sister, and when the market will go higher, NQ is the strongest sister. That means if you want to look for an SMT in between ES and NQ, for example, you are looking for sell. So what you will expect? You will expect this type of scenario. In one SA market, market will take the high. In another SA market, market will fail to take that high. So here you will see the SMT there and there. For example, you are looking for sell. So which one should take the high? Nasdaq has to take the high. ES has to fail to take the high. Why? Because when the market is falling, ES is stronger. When the market is going higher, NQ is stronger. So NQ should take the high. ES should fail to take that high. In that case of scenario, this is going to be the SMT. Otherwise, if opposite happens, that means this is ES. ES has cleared that high, but NQ has failed to clear that high. In that type of situation, I will expect that this market is going to take that high as well, because this is the fake SMT. So it will take that high and then maybe it will fall. Again, maybe you are looking for the buying opportunity. In that type of situation, what you will look for? There will be one SA market that will clear the low and then it will go higher. There will be another SA market that will fail to clear that low and then it will go higher. So in this type of situation, there is the SMT. This low has been cleared over here and this low has been failed to clear over here. Which SA market should take the low and which SA market should fail to take the low? This guy is should be ES. Here when the high has been taken, it should be NQ. When the low has been taken, it should be ES. If NQ take the low but ES has failed to take that low, this is called fake SMT. So this market will actually fall and clear that low before going higher, because the weakest sister has cleared that liquidity. I hope it's clear to you. So when the market is falling, the high should be taken by the NQ. When the market is going higher, the low should be taken by the ES. If it happens, then I will see the SMT in between these two SM market. Otherwise, no SMT is valid to me. At the same time, when this guy has confirmed that it has broken this bullish parallel gap, I believe that NQ is also going to support or to follow this ES, just because market has reached in a certain level in a very all-time high. Here you can see this relatively equal lows over here for the ES, and there is some relatively equal lows for here from the ES. So I'm more interested to see it will go for all of this liquidity. So here the comparing in between NQ and ES, I want to say this will keep falling. Both of this SA market is going to keep fall and to take the liquidity. Would love to go for the what is I mean the YM, this is the Dow Jones, and from the Dow Jones, as you can see, when the market is falling, Dow Jones is the strongest one. Okay, so the market is falling and Dow Jones is falling like drama, and you can see it's just very near to this low, which you can see this is the Tuesday, 2nd September. So if I come to the ES, this is that low, 2nd September. If I come to the NQ, this is that low, 2nd September. See how far this market is from this low, how far, and from that low, how far the market is. But look at this Dow Jones. It has already cleared, I guess. Did it clear? No, it didn't clear yet, but it is going to, it's very near to clear that low. So this guy is extremely bearish, and this is the strongest SA market in between, sorry, among NQ, ES, and Dow Jones. This is the strongest one. So either way, if it would love to go higher, it will give you the highest volatility. If it would love to fall, it will give you the highest volatility. Most of the time, the other SA market actually follow this Dow Jones. Most of the time, okay. So the ES and the NQ is going to follow this Dow Jones. So over here, it has already confirmed that it is extremely bearish, and if it when it will clear that low, I prefer that the other SA market is also going to clear that low as well. I mean that low from, for example, here it is going to also clear that low, and more importantly it will come here and trade that fair value gap. For NQ as well, this is that lows as well, as these lows will be cleared, and then this market will come here. So overall this whole market is telling me the bearishness. Other SA market has already confirmed the bearishness. NQ didn't yet, but very soon, sooner or later it will also confirm that, and I believe by the next week it will just confirm by closing below this bullish fair value gap, and then after the next week it will start to fall again by trading some kind of bearish PDR or whatever it is. We'll talk about that after the next week by another weekly analysis video. Now I would love to come here for, actually not there, I'd love to go for the DXY. Just a second, DXY. So this is the DXY. I would love to come for the DXY a bit because it is also important for me. So now from the weekly chart, you can see that that was the last fair value gap from that specific leg where this market came and then took one more time or trade that bullish fair value gap so beautifully, and then it started to go higher. Now so far it is reacting with this week 50%, I mean week over here, the 50% of that week. I would love to see it will give me some kind of reaction from there, some kind of fall. That means this the next week it's gonna be like staying here somewhere, and then finally it will break that week and it will clear that high. So that is my so far expectation. More importantly, I want to see this market will come from the very deep discount. This is the very deep discount. It will come at least to this premium bearish fair value gap. So I'm more interested to see this guy will come over here to this fair value gap, and because it is coming from the discount, so it should go to the deep premium. If you look for that specific leg over here, so from there to there, okay, so this is the equilibrium, and below this equilibrium that was the fair value gap where our expectation was it will trade here and then it will fall. It will just tap to this last fair value gap, reaction will send the market again for the deep premium, which is this bear last fair value gap, and then if it start to fall, I don't have any problem for this sell side liquidity. I have some sell side liquidity over here, maybe it will fall for that sell side. I don't care about that, but right now I want to see this dollar index will go toward that gap. So when the dollar index will be bullish, other S markets should follow uh, to be contradict with the dollar index. So they should keep falling. If I go to the daily chart, from the daily chart, all you can see here from the daily chart. Okay, so I'm going to remove this week actually. From the daily chart, you can see this is that last fair value gap from the daily chart. So far, it has been respected that last fair value gap. Again, any kind of bullish period that I'll be able to use to take the buy, that is more important to me. For example, here it has cleared that sell side liquidity. Okay, this low has been cleared over here. Liquidity has been cleared. Market structure shift, fair value gap. This is the fair value gap, and these consecutive candles are the order block. So from the daily chart, you can see I have the consecutive order block over here, which I'm going to mark actually there. I would love to see it will fall actually for this consecutive order block, maybe until the 50% of this mean threshold of that consecutive order block, and then it will go through this fair value gap, which is the daily fair value gap, and then it will take that high where is an opening gap. So you can see this is a gap from here to here. So this market open here and fall, there is a gap where market has traded the 50% for the first time. This time it should go and trade the high of this gap at least, and then maybe later we have talked about the fair value gap over here. We'll talk about that later, but right now I would love to see it will work. Oh, sorry, where is that? It will come until the top of this gap, which is going to clear that high. Right now this is gonna be just the reaction from this area, the fall first until this order block, maybe until the min threshold of the 50% of this order block, then it will go high. At the same time, when on Monday it will consolidate, and on Tuesday it will go a bit higher, then Wednesday it will fall, Thursday it will go higher again and close around this area. At the same time, Nasdaq, what it will do, same, Monday consolidation, Tuesday manipulation, Wednesday expansion, and Thursday it will come back again below that bullish parallel gap from the weekly chart, and then closed over there. So it's absolutely gonna be the opposite of that dollar index. This dollar index is telling me bullishness, the Nasdaq is telling me bearishness. So I believe that it's gonna be a beautiful week is coming after the next week. The beautiful weeks are actually waiting for us. Let's see if we can find something over good from there or not. Okay, so that was so far my intention to show you guys by this specific video. Again, I can be absolutely wrong. This market can start to go higher again, which I don't expect. First of all, because it has traded that minus 2.5 standard deviation, and then the reaction from that gap is so beautiful. But still, it is possible that this market will go higher and make the all-time high. If it happens, of course, maybe the next week will be a bit difficult for us, and from the after the next week, maybe we'll be able to frame the trade. So for whatever I told, I don't want to see this market will come to this extreme bearish fair value gap. Instead of that, it should work with this area, and then it should keep falling for those sell side liquidity. Thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I believe that it's insightful for you guys. If you really learned something from here, don't forget to let me know through the comment box. If you get everything clearly, make sure you have written boom to the comment box. So until the next video, cheers guys.